Markets are a big part of life here in the Netherlands. They're practically everywhere 1 or 2 days a week in most cities, and they sell everything from rotisserie chickens to cheese to nuts to fruits and vegetables.
But we've always wondered, what's it like buying your groceries from one of these local markets instead of a grocery store? Is it more expensive? Will the food taste better? Well, that's what we're going to be finding out in this video. We're going to make and compare 4 different meals side by side using ingredients from the grocery store and from our local market. And we'll be comparing the price of each and, of course, the taste.
I honestly have no idea how this is gonna go, but I'm excited about it. Goedemorgen and welcome back. Before we get started, how do you think it's gonna go today?
Good. For me. I'm not doing any of the cooking, I just get to eat. Actually, I really think that the quality of the bread is going to be better at the market. I think the quality of like the meat is going to be better at the market. I think otherwise, it's just going to be the same price for everything.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know what to expect. Today we're gonna be making 4 meals. Broodje kip kerrie, which is a chicken curry sandwich that's popular here in the Netherlands. A typical AVG meal, and if you're not sure what AVG is, go back and watch our Eating Dutch for 24-hour video, a quiche, and white asparagus soup.
That's right. It's white asparagus season, y'all.
We're gonna be making each meal twice. So the first time with ingredients from our local grocery store, Albert Heijn, and then the second time with ingredients from our weekend market here in Dordrecht.
All right, let's get cooking.
Our first meal of the day is broodje kip kerrie, or a chicken curry sandwich. For the broodje kip kerrie, the main ingredients are garlic, onions, cucumber, pistils, and chicken. Since this isn't really a cooking video, let's just teleport to the part where we eat. Oh, cooking 2 meals at the same time is not easy.
I don't envy you today.
So let's see what we've got here, starting with the broodje kip kerrie that we made using grocery store ingredients. It looks tasty. The bread still looks like brown and crusty, but yeah, in terms of the curry, I can't really tell the difference.
You did a great job with it though. It smells insanely good.
I know, our house smells delicious. You go for it.
Really?
Yeah.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's not the most flattering food to eat on a video. The freshness from the cucumber really comes through. The bread is a little rough. I mean, we bought both of the pistils yesterday.
Yeah.
Kip kerrie flavor's good. Well, all that's left now is to try the other one. So again, the only visible difference here is that the bread looks better, which makes sense because it's coming from a real bakery. This one looks picturesque to me. Well, I mean, surprising no one, the bread is exceptionally better.
Yeah.
Like, they don't even compare. The bread is soft, and it's got a good, like, it's a perfect sandwich bread.
I will say, this chicken is softer. It's more tender.
I was going to say the same thing.
Chicken.
That's why I'm eating them individually.
Yeah.
I was just making sure that was the case.
It wasn't like in your head. This chicken's drier.
A lot drier.
Yeah.
Better chicken, better bread. I'm going to go with the market one.
Yeah, I think the market one wins 100%.
Yeah. The broodje kip kerrie from the grocery store cost about €5 to make, and the one from the market cost about €7.15. The grocery store, in this case, was the cheaper option. This is the part of the video where we would talk about our experience at grocery stores in the Netherlands and then compare it to our experience at the market, and we'll get to the market here in a bit. In our grocery store guide video, we explore the major chains here in the Netherlands, and we talk about the pros and cons of shopping at each of them. And in our Weird Things About Dutch Supermarkets video, we talk about our experience shopping at grocery stores here in the Netherlands versus the grocery stores we're more familiar with in the US.
Next, we're making a traditional Dutch AVG dish, salmon, mashed potatoes, and roasted carrots. For this meal, the primary ingredients are carrots, a few potatoes, and some salmon.
All right, let's take a look at what we got here, and let's start with the market salmon meal that we made using the ingredients from the market. Well, the salmon is noticeably larger.
Yeah, they were a similar size, but I gave sashimi a little bit from the grocery store one.
But even still, I mean, that's still pretty significant.
It is, yeah.
Well, there's only one thing left to do. People are going to judge you for leaving the skin on your potatoes.
Why?
I don't know. I think it tastes better.
Delicious.
I agree.
I agree.
It.
There's a time and a place for really smooth potatoes, and this just isn't the time or the place.
That's some good looking salmon there.
That's some good ass salmon.
Ready? It's smack like.
It's soft.
It's very soft.
It's like juicy.
And it has a It has a light salmon flavor.
Yeah.
Like it tastes fresh.
Yeah, gentle salmon flavor. The mashed potatoes and the carrots from the grocery store don't really look that different. The salmon is noticeably smaller, and that's after I took a piece off for sashimi the cat.
All right, time for the grocery store one. Cheers.
The texture is noticeably different.
It's not as flaky. It's a little bit like chewier.
Yeah.
And you don't taste, there's no salmon flavor really. I mean, it's like really, really light. It's not bad.
I mean, if I had this on its own, I would think it was quite good. I think it's just that we're comparing it.
Literally, that's why we're here. The carrots from the market are sweeter.
Yeah, they're sweeter and they have like less of a skin on them, I think.
This one's more subtle, I think, than the kip kerrie.
Yeah, I think so too. It's a lot more close, but I would still probably choose the market one.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, but I would not be unhappy being served this.
No. The salmon dinner from the grocery store cost about 8 euros to make, and the one from the market cost almost 10 euros. The grocery store again here was the cheaper option. We're at the weekend market here in Dordrecht that runs every Friday and Saturday, and we're gonna take y'all on a little tour of the market while we pick up ingredients for this video. We are cheating a bit today by skipping the bread vendor, which is a part of a chain of bakeries, and we're going to instead go to Vanderstera, which is a shop right next to the market. I don't want Dordrecht's lack of great bread at the market to deter our final results. Today we're going to be making a frittata, which I don't think is Dutch, but I really wanted to incorporate the fresh eggs found at the market. And the Nederlanders watching will have to let us know, do y'all make frittatas or quiches? For the frittata, the main ingredients are Parmesan cheese, Dutch cheese, eggs, some more potatoes, and a big old bunch of leeks. I have a knife! Oh my god. These look really good. Yeah, they look tasty. I've never made anything like this before, so I feel pretty proud. Anything in a muffin pan? What do you mean like this? I've never made eggs in a muffin pan before. Who has? Well, I mean, they look identical? These are a little smaller. Now, there is a bit of like variation from me. Was it one egg each, or did you make the whole mix together? Yeah, so it was one egg each. Okay. And there might be a little bit of variation with me like actually putting the ingredients in it, but they are consistently smaller. So then does that mean the eggs that we got from the market were bigger? Yeah, they might be a little bit bigger. They were all considered medium eggs. Okay. So maybe there was some variation in them. Let's give them a try. It's not like. Wow. You know, for something that doesn't have a crust, it does have a crust. It does. Yeah, the egg or the cheese has created kind of little like encapsulation of the ingredients inside. Yeah, it's very juicy too. Yeah, it's very moist. I've got the texture of the cheese. You are. But I'm not getting any of the taste of the cheese. Yeah, I'm only tasting leek and egg. Yeah. And there's two kinds of cheese and there's potatoes in this one. There's two kinds of cheese? Yeah, there's Parmesan on top. Oh, there's potatoes in this too? There's the cheese that's mixed inside of it. All right, let's try the market frittatas. I'm excited to try this cheese because I cheated and had a little bit of it before, and it was delicious. Yeah, it was really, really good. And obviously the cheeses are different, but they are an equivalent price category cheese. Yeah, they are. That's my The inside is fluffier. Much fluffier. I taste the leeks. I taste the potatoes. And I taste one of the cheeses, or I do taste a cheese. Overall, both the flavor and the mouthfeel is better with this one. Yeah. This tastes like how a leek smells. I can't quite place it, but this is the first time, I think, of the meals that we've had so far where I actually like have a strong preference of one over the other. Me too. This one actually tastes higher quality. It tastes better. And then this one tastes cheaper. This is delicious. This is so good. We need to start making this more often. So, market. Okay, so before we get to our final and arguably most exciting meal today, let's recap what we've learned so far. So we started with the Broodje kip kerrie, and it looks like the market one came in a little bit more expensive at 7 euros and 15 cents versus the Albert Heijn one, which came in at around 5 euros. I think we preferred but only slightly the market version.
There were really two ingredients that we could tell the difference between, and that was the chicken, which was way more tender in the market version, and the bread was just a lot softer in the market version.
Not really surprising. It came from a bakery.
Yeah, exactly. So, I mean, that really just leaves the cucumber, and we couldn't really tell a difference between the two.
For the Salmon AVG meal, the market version cost almost 10 euros and the Albert Heijn version cost about 8 euros. So again, the market came in more expensive, and unsurprisingly, again, we also did slightly prefer the market version.
For this, the salmon was actually quite a bit better. The texture was better, and it also had a much better salmon flavor.
Yeah, it was a much tastier salmon. Now, interestingly, for the frittata, the market was still slightly more expensive at 5 euros and 46 cents versus Albert Heijn at 5 euros and 3 cents. This is the one that we actually strongly preferred the market version.
I mean, visually, it looked really different. The eggs were fluffier, creating like a bigger frittata. And also the leeks inside.
Yeah, they were really good.
Super different.
I think there's two interesting things to call out here. One, the cheese that we got at the market was cheaper on a per gram basis than the one that we got at Albert Heijn. And I think it was a more unique cheese. The other thing I thought was interesting is that the eggs were the exact same price.
Yeah,
but the eggs from the market were so much better.
Yep.
So overall, it really seems like the market is the place to go if you want to have meat, if you want to have fish, if you want to have eggs, because it seems like those things in particular are worth the small premium that you pay over what you're paying at the grocery store. However,
for our final meal today, we're making something very special. It's white asparagus season, y'all, and when this special asparagus hits the shelves, that means it's officially springtime. Well, maybe not officially springtime, but it's one of the first signs. So today, we're gonna be making white asparagus soup with a side toasty.
you're my side toasty.
Oh, thanks, that's so sweet.
For this meal, the main ingredients are some cheese, bread, white asparagus, potatoes, a leek, and some more Parmesan cheese.
Well, last meal. I'm sad, but I think you might be happy because it's been a lot of cooking. So what we have here is white asparagus soup and, as Michelle mentioned, a side toasty. So in my opinion, this is going to be perhaps the most different. So first up, what are we trying?
We're gonna try the market soup.
Okay, you're sure this is the market soup?
This is definitely the market soup.
Tastes great. It's got a nice light asparagus flavor.
Oh my gosh, that cheese is so sweet.
It's a good cheese.
Yeah, it's a nice like texture and it's got a little bit of like the sweetness to it. And I mean, the bread is fine. It's on the thinner side, so it kind of creates a nice crispy crunch.
I don't know how I feel about that, but I mean, I can't really fault the bakery for like having a thinner bread slicing
Yeah,
machine.
it just might be like their style.
Yeah, let's try the grocery. It's interesting that you said this one's thicker, even though you were arguing that this one was more fibrous.
I get long fibrous pieces in this one, but it's a little like lumpier.
This one tastes like potato soup compared to that one.
Yes. Oh my gosh. This tastes more like the soup stock. And
It's good.
the aromatic pieces, like I don't really taste that much asparagus.
Not at all.
The asparagus is maybe more just like adding color and texture.
Yeah.
This tastes like asparagus
Yes.
though.
Agreed. Okay, well, the only thing that's left to do is to try the grocery store toasty.
Yes. And the bread is a lot bigger.
The bread is, it's thicker.
Piece it together.
Oh, it is bigger too.
Yeah.
Bigger and thicker.
Thicker and bigger. Just how I like it.
Bland.
It's so bland.
It's really bland. I wouldn't be unhappy with this meal, but I don't know. Like, it's all bland. The soup is bland. The bread is bland. The cheese is bland. This has a note like good cheese.
It's crunchy.
The bread's good. And then the soup actually tastes like asparagus, which is what you want when you're getting, it's white asparagus season.
I know.
You want that asparagus flavor. You want the white asparagus experience.
The only thing that this has going for it is the texture.
I do like the texture of this, yeah.
Yeah, it's a very pleasing texture.
So, what are we picking? I wonder. It's such a surprise.
It's going to be the market one again.
Yeah, unsurprisingly, it's the
Yeah.
market one. The white asparagus soup and toasty from the grocery store cost about 9 euros and 23 cents to make in total, and the one from the market cost 8 euros and 32 cents, which is a difference of 91 cents, with the market being the cheaper option. Well, that was an interesting science experiment. It seems like overall the market, you have a slight premium over the grocery store, but you also have a lot of things that taste better from the market. Probably not too surprising, but I do think that we got a couple of interesting nuggets out of this. thing that we did.
So where do y'all prefer to shop for most of your meals? And do you agree that the market is generally better for most things?
It's probably not a controversial thing to say.
Let us know in the comments.
As always, thank y'all so much for watching, and we'll see you next week.
Till done!